Well, good morning. As you can see there behind me, it looks to be a beautiful day. A bit on the cool side, a bit on the muddy side. It has rained for like the last 2 days, but not today. Got a few days in a row here of sunshine, it looks like, and we're gonna get some stuff done. Appreciate y'all watching. Hit all the buttons, you know them, the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button. Hey, the notification, that's another good one, but let's get after it. There's the Smoky gal. Yeah, she likes to call the hay shed, which the hay shed does kind of become the equipment shed as the hay gets fed, which, just see, we did not even feed up all our hay this past winter. Hey girl, you've really shed off that winter coat. But yeah, speaking of hay, we've got some that's gonna be ready to cut, or is ready to cut. Our issue is now gonna become finding a break in the rainy pattern, which we know that's always our challenge this early in the spring. Yeah, looking at the forecast, we've got like 3 days in a row of no rain, but then for like the next 10 days or so after that in the long range forecast is just rain, like 40 to 60% chances every day, which obviously some of that may change, but yeah, we're gonna start getting a little antsy. Just let the chickens out. There they come. Come on out, ladies. And Sadie, you leave them alone. One more. We got one straggler. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's only April 30th, so we're not even into May yet, but that rye and some of our fescue is, hey, it's empty, girl. Just about ready. So yeah, I don't know, we're pretty much sitting on go now. When we find a stretch where it's dry enough, we will be getting some hay cut, but can't really stress about it too much. It'd be nice to check the rain gauge and see how much rain we got over the last 2 days, but yeah, still have not replaced that from where the tree fell. Obviously still have not done our fence repairs here and got this gate hung again. That'll be on the to-do list for some time in these next few weeks, which on these days where it's going to be too wet to get in the hay field, or it's going to be rain in the forecast, so we can't, get out there and get some cut. That'll be a good project for those days. But gonna get the bulls fed. Tomorrow is the 1st of May, which kind of traditionally for us has been the day we circle on the calendar for bull turnout day. We're gonna back it up mainly because we've gotten lucky with our kind of mid-February and so weather. At least we did this last year. I guess you go back about 2 years ago is when we had a really nasty winter storm in February. But yeah, that luck is gonna run out eventually. Try to get them, put them in where calving's really not gonna start until at least the very end of February, first part of March, which will still be at risk for having some winter weather from time to time. But it'll just minimize that. And two, we've got 3 cows or / heifers that I guess it's 2 heifers and 1 cow and still have not yet calved, so it's gonna be a challenge for them to get bred back anyway, on time. And if we're turning the bulls in here before they even calve, probably won't happen. And for those of you not really familiar, in different farms, ranches do it different ways. We target a 60-day breeding season, which of course translates to a 60-day calving season. So yeah, if we turn the bulls in, say tomorrow on May the 1st, and say they went ahead and all 3 calved, today or tomorrow, which won't happen. Although I'm suspicious that 2 of them actually look really close. We may have a new calf this morning when we ride back there. That basically means they've got 60 days to heal, recover from having that calf, and then get bred again, which is very unlikely. So by us backing it up by about 2 weeks, which I guess, yeah, that's what I should point out. That's kind of our goal. We're gonna say Turn the bulls in mid-May, pull them out mid-July. That should put us calving. I'll have to look at exact dates, but basically March and April. So anyway, get the 2 kitty cats fed, and then we'll ride back there and see if we do have a new calf. And 101 is one of the ones we're waiting to calve. You see she's making a bag. She was the one that I kind of thought, if I was betting, would be the next one to go, but she hasn't. There's a Hereford cow that's kind of right there with her. There's another black white-faced heifer that I think will probably be the last of the 3, but let's see if we can find those other 2. Yeah. Or I can even cut the camera off. There's the one that I believe will be last, and she has not. And in typical fashion, I don't know if you can see it, but across the fence over there, and yes, there is a fence in that tree line there, we've got a calf. Calf actually belongs to that cow. So all I need is bad fences that need to be fixed on this farm. This farm was spared of most of the storm damage as far as out in the pasture. We had a little bit up there around the barn, but I would imagine there's only 4 strands of wire on this perimeter fence. That calf could have easily gone through, but I don't know where she did. And there's our Hereford that is yet to calve. So, which she does look like she's, you know, showing more sign in terms of swelling and making a bag than even over just the last day or 2. And hey, there incidentally is the newest calf, number 327. So all seems to be in good shape out here. I'm gonna go ahead and open the gate, let them come back over onto our place. One, because we got a spot to fix on the fence, which, like I said, is gonna take 5 minutes to fix. But I'm up against the clock right now. I gotta get into town, do a couple of things. So we'll fix that in the next day or 2. But if they're not in this pasture anyway, it doesn't matter. Just pulled up down here on the Gilt Edge farm and gonna check these calves. Saw them down the hill down there. I can hear them coming. Put out a little feed for them. And then, yes, of course, we brought the side by side. We're loaded down with all our fencing gear. I'm hopeful that today will be the last like major repairs we have to do on this farm, cleaning up from the tornadoes. Got 2 more bad spots in this little bitty pasture up here, which is fine. I wasn't really too worried about it because I was just shutting the gate, not letting them in there. But the cross fence between this pasture and that pasture is questionable, to say the least, in a couple of spots. So they're still finding ways to get in there, and that's a spot of fence I really don't even care about. Anyway, it's kind of confusing, hard to explain, but anyway, I can get it fixed because about 40 of them were in there yesterday morning. They weren't supposed to be. Thankfully, they didn't get over there and find the 2 spots where we got trees down, but we'll get them fed and yeah, get the chainsawing and tying some wire back. There's the bulk of them. I think that's 47 if I counted correctly. Got some stragglers, should be, well, 13. Right down here, we need to put out a bag of mineral back here anyway. See if we can find those others. Well, there they are. We'll get a head count on them, be sure it's all 13. Hey, why didn't y'all want to go eat? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12 and 13. So everyone's accounted for. That makes for a good morning. We're gonna ride over here, check the mineral feeder, and yeah, then probably get to working on some fencing. But I'm excited to work on this fence today because, again, it should kind of put a bow on the storm damage to some degree. There's still some that we just knew we couldn't even tackle, not without having, you know, bigger equipment. But in terms of having everything, every bit of pasture, at least, you know, ready to be grazed, we'll be in good shape. Feeder, they've obviously been using it. Yeah, it's getting a little low. We'll put some in there. I like to keep the solid mineral blocks in there. That way, you know, they've always got that to lick on even if they run out of loose mineral, but they're not quite completely out. All right, and this is the worst of the spots. You see, it's just a massive tree. Got down on all these wires. And what's scary, because again, I told you we had calves in this little pasture where I tried to fence them out, shut them out yesterday morning. They walked right up to here. Heck, they may have even stepped over. I mean, there's not much for them to, I mean, there's shouldn't be anything too desirable over there for them, other than maybe just their freedom. Yeah, they're coming over there. Yeah, they did the same thing over here. Walked right up. Of course, obviously we're missing our middle 3 or 4 wires are broken. No, same thing. But they're gonna find a spot like this if you got it. I really don't know what we're gonna do. You know, what I'd like to do is, you know, cut right through here, get it off. But I mean, I don't have a big enough saw. I don't have enough fuel for all the sawing it would take to get through that. You see we had put new wires up there that had broken for some other reason. Yeah, in a perfect world we get a excavator or a dozer in here, push the tree off, and then just pull the wires right back up and boom, problem solved. Yeah, for us to come around it is going to be really very, I don't know. Okay, so what I made the decision to do, we cut off a bunch of the root wad. It was sticking out to about right here. What it's going to allow us to do is, the wire's already on this tree, run it down through here, and then we'll just be able to attach it to this side of that biggest tree where it was on that side and where it'd be on that side. It's far from perfect, but it's going to be a lot better than anything else we can probably get done. Again, short of having some major machinery here to move that off of where exactly it should be. Fence is going to be about 3 or 4 feet from where it was, but yeah, I feel fairly confident it'll hold cattle, but we'll see here in just a bit. Well, it is very much improvised, but nothing is going to walk out right through there. So you come down to this tree, like the old fence over on the other side of it, but we're back solid again. So that spot is done. We got one more spot. I say spot, it's like 3 trees, about 100-foot section up here. And the cedar trees right up through here really took it on the chin. I'm trying to even see. So obviously there's one. I mean, it's just a mess. Not a spot where they would just totally walk out like they maybe could have up there. Yeah, 1 tree there. 2. Looks like that one was already dead, but it broke it off. 3. Number 4 right there. So 4 different cedars. 3 if you're just counting the ones that were alive. Just a mess. So yeah, I think probably the bigger part of this task is going to be, or this location is going to be just getting it all cut off the fence. But yeah, another spot where you can see we had added wire to patch places to begin with. But anyway, we'll get to work. I don't trip and fall. Okay, so this is a spot I can actually probably be a little more proud of. See, the wires aren't quite as tight. This would be ideal, but we just pretty much did away with all the fence that was there for the most part. Tied new wires back into some of the existing, but you got 5 wires down through there now. That's pretty well fixed. You know, in the perfect world we'd probably could have stood to have an actual H brace put in here, but we weren't even remotely prepared to do that. Looks better than I thought it would. Really both spots. But yeah, gather up my tools. Nobody wants to get back to the house and realize you left the post driver or your hammer or something laying around. We not even quite noon. We made pretty good progress. Got a few repairs to make now. I jumped the chain off one of the saws. That's why it's nice to have two saws. And then yeah, my wire unroller, off of that threaded rod apparently backed its way off, and so yeah, the other piece there we run through there. Then run that rod through it. I need to get home and just get that fixed. Otherwise, you know, a couple weeks, or maybe even hopefully a couple of months go by before unrolling some wire again and realize, oh yeah, I never fixed that. But that was a pretty good morning's worth of work, wasn't it, Sadie? Yeah, glad to get that checked off the to-do list. The calves think I'm gonna feed them again tomorrow morning. I'll be back on normal schedule. Oh, probably about 5:45, 6 a.m. I'll be down here, all right? But yeah, just laid up over there. It's a nice day. It's breezy, a little cool, as you can see. Got the long sleeves on, but sun is shining. I kind of hate it rained so much over the last couple of days. We might have even contemplated cutting some hay today because the wind blowing like it is. Sun's supposed to shine for like the next 3 days. Probably could have gotten it dry enough to bale a middle of the week, but as it is, probably not a good idea. And I think the rain comes back on Thursday, and so yeah, I'm not sure that we can get it dry before that rain came in, and then it's going to rain for like 2 weeks, so that would be an absolute disaster. So we've got a roll of hay put out for the bulls. That may be the last roll of hay they need, just because it'll be turned out with the cows here in a couple of weeks. Get back here in the barn, Smokey. You see, we have quite the collection of net wrap that we, just have not thrown away, thrown in a gully. It's great for putting in gullies because the way it just captures all the dirt and whatnot. Kind of the same reason we don't like leaving it out in the pasture, but. Yeah, is that a nice soft spot for you to sleep? But anyway, got a few more little odds and ends to do. You see, got the mower serviced. Both rear tires just keep losing air, so I think we're gonna put some tire sealer in this thing. That one held up pretty good. Front tires doing better. Of course, when I first cranked it, last week, all the tires were flat, just from sitting all winter, but yeah, they should have, those back ones. We're gonna put a little sealer in there, see if that does the trick. All right, I don't know, if any of y'all ever use this stuff, in the old days, we used a product, I think it was just called tire sealer. I think it's basically the same thing. They just give it this wacky green color to make it think it's doing something magical, I guess, but yeah, I actually put it in one of the front tires of the Pioneer this morning, because I aired it up. By the time I came back like an hour later after I run some more errands, it was flat again. And fingers crossed it has stayed up since then. But we're gonna see if we can remedy this problem on lawnmower tire too. Gotta take the valve core out. Not much air in there. And it says for this size tire, 8 pumps.
8 pumps.
So put that on there. There's 1, 2, 14. Put that valve core back in there. Sure.
Why is the bottom still flat?
Well, we hadn't put any air in it yet. We just put the sealer. We're gonna put the air in it, and then we're gonna run it to spread it all around.
But can I ride on it? Can I ride with you?
Well, not while I'm mowing. That's not very not very safe. We got the sealer in, put the valve cores back in, aired it up. So now we need to run it around, kind of distribute that sealer all around, find whatever little slow leaks we've got, and we'll do that while we're sunglasses on. It's bright out here now. And then I've got grease or probably tire sealer. My glasses for my gloves. Oh goodness, it's always something. So I'll clean them off in a minute. But been a productive day. Girls are going to ride. Kimber's got a friend over, spent the night last night, so they're gonna ride. I'm gonna do just a little mowing around here. The yard doesn't really need mowed. We got a nice Bermuda yard thanks to my buddy Steve at Southern Lawn and Pest. So Bermuda's not really doing its thing just yet, but I'm gonna get that done. Probably just have a kind of a relaxing family time this Sunday afternoon. But oh, Kaylin making what do you call this, like a cameo appearance. But mind you, visit agzaga.com, use the discount code HCF10 at checkout. Check out hurricanecreek.farm. Grab you a hat. Of course, you can find links to all our social media and whatnot there. But yeah, I might just about wrap it up for this one. We are ready to cut some hay. We are simply waiting on a break in the weather that will coincide with you know, a long enough window for us to get it dry and baled. Looks like we have a budding calf roper on our hands. Buddy, why are you terrorizing Smokey? Yeah, this is gonna end poorly for you because she weighs more than you do. Hey, it's the end of the video, so what do we say? You gotta say it to the camera.
Eat beef and God bless.
That was Eat Beef and God Bless, if you couldn't hear it. But I know you all knew what we were saying anyway. Y'all have a good one. Take it off of her. Take it off of her. Get up, you got her cornered now. Take it off of her. Take it off of her, buddy. There you go. All right, now don't do that again, okay? Be nice to her.